I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around just a little bit as I move along. So in my recent videos, I was reading about the northern kingdom of Israel and their succession of kings. Habayasha deposed and conquered the dynasty of Jeroboam, but we are now reading in the story of King Asa in Judah in the south. And in our last reading, we read about an Ethiopian invasion and how Asa, with the aid of the Lord, drove the Ethiopians out. Now, we continue this in 2 Chronicles chapter 15. This will continue the story of Asa. Here we have it. Azariah prophesies Judah shall prosper if people keep the commandments. Asa puts away false worship in Judah. Many from Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon migrate to Judah. People of covenant to serve the Lord and are blessed. And the Spirit of God came upon Azariah, the son of Oded. And he went out to meet Asa and said unto him, Hear ye me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin. The Lord is with you while ye be with him. And if ye seek him, he will be found of you. But if ye forsake him, he will forsake you. Now for a long season Israel hath been without the true God, and without a teaching priest, and without law. But when they in their trouble did turn unto the Lord God of Israel, and sought him, he was found of them. And in those times there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in, but great vexations were upon all the inhabitants of the countries. And nation was destroyed of nation, and city of city, for God did vex them with all adversity. Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. Seems like a fairly straightforward promise here. Follow God, be blessed. And he mentioned, now, the one thing I do find this interesting, there's no teaching priest. Now, this gives us a footnote, a cross-reference to Deuteronomy chapter 33. So let us quickly flip to that just for a moment. Well, it's not much information there in Deuteronomy. It's just the blessing of the tribe of Levi was to be the teachers of the rest of Israel. They were to teach Israel the law. So when it says there's no teaching priest, I guess all the priests were preoccupied in the worship service of the temple, and they didn't have anybody going out and actually instructing the people during this time. And then it says it's been a while, now for a long season Israel has been without the true God. Remember, Solomon first turned to idolatry. Rehoboam followed. Abijah followed. Now we get Asa. Rehoboam was king. Well, Solomon, it was like the last 5 so years of his reign. Rehoboam's king for 17 years. Abijah for 2 or for 3, something in there. So we're talking 25 to 30 years since idol worship was set up. Anyways, it's a nice promise. Verse 8, And when Asa heard these words and the prophecy of Oded the prophet, he took courage and put away the abominable idols out of all the land of Judah and Benjamin, and out of the cities which he had taken from Mount Ephraim, and renewed the altar of the Lord that was before the porch of the Lord. And he gathered all Judah and Benjamin, and the strangers with them, out of Ephraim and Manasseh, and out of Simeon. For they fell to him out of Israel in abundance, when they saw that the Lord his God was with him. So they gathered themselves together at Jerusalem in the 3rd month, in the 15th year of the reign of Asa. And they offered unto the Lord the same time of the spoil which they had brought, 700 oxen, 7,000 sheep. And they entered into a covenant to seek the Lord God of their fathers with all their heart and with all their soul, that whosoever would not seek the Lord God of Israel should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. And they sware unto the Lord with a loud voice, and with shouting, and with trumpets, and with cornets. And all Judah rejoiced at the oath, for they had sworn with all their heart, and sought him with their whole desire, and he was found of them, and the Lord gave them rest round about. Now there is a discrepancy here, because remember, at the beginning of this chapter it says that Azariah, the son of Oded, proclaimed this prophecy, and now it says here he hearkened to the words of the prophecy of Oded. So a slight discrepancy, although not important. because after all, he's the son of Oded, so it could be considered his prophecy too. In their culture, it's an odd thing. But they make this covenant with God. And this is in the 15th year of Asa. I believe Asa is king for 42 years. So we're getting close to about halfway through his reign, and they make this covenant with God. All Israel, and not just the Judah, not just the southern kingdom, but we have men of Ephraim and Manasseh coming down to Jerusalem to join in this covenant. People from Simeon. In here, when it says foreigners, it's not talking about, well, it might be talking about non-Israelites even as well. But I think it's largely, talking about, where is it? Yeah, verse 9. And the strangers with them out of Ephraim and Manasseh. So these were Ephraimites and Manassites. Israelites, yes, but not of the southern kingdom. Now, I don't know if they were migrating into Judah at this time. We do know that many had migrated into Judah at the beginning of the reign of Jeroboam. And it could just be that these are their descendants. So, anyways, let us finish this out. Verse 16. And also concerning Maacah, the mother of Asa, the king, he removed her from being queen, because she had made an idol in a grove. And Asa cut down her idol, and stamped it, and burnt it at the brook Kidron. But the high places were not taken away out of Israel. Nevertheless, the heart of Asa was perfect all his days. And he brought into the house of God the things that his father had dedicated, and that he himself had dedicated, silver and gold and vessels. And there was no more war unto the 35th year of the reign of Asa. So this is in the 15th year. No more war until the 35th year. So we got 20 more years of peace for Asa, according to Chronicles. Now we will talk about a slight discrepancy here in timing. Again, not a vital detail, but worth the mention. I will also mention that this part here, this ending, was verses 16 to 20. Some of them, these last 4 or 5 verses. This is almost a word-for-word repeat of 1 Kings chapter 15. Now, according to 1 Kings chapter 15, it doesn't give us when this happened. It just says he became king and he did this. According to Chronicles, it's happening in the 15th year. Now, before this, during the first 10 years, he was putting out the idols in Jerusalem and some of the other cities. And then he has this war with the Ethiopians. He conquers a few other cities. And then he makes this covenant, and he goes on a second kind of purging the land of idols. And that's when he puts down, he deposes his mother as queen because of her idol worship. So, the timeline is hard to pin down, but we're doing our best. I enjoy this. We will pick this up back in 1 Kings, back in chapter 15. We will be reading about another war, so we will see you then.